Hi, it's Nancy with MumMums. We're going to make a bow today. And I have selected these ribbons, narrowed things down to these ribbons for this particular bow. I wanted to do a cow bow. And I thought it would be really cool to incorporate this handkerchief design. But let me tell you, this was an interesting bow to put together. And the reason I say that is because I had these ribbons that I was seriously considering blending into this bow, and it was kind of nerve-wracking, combining different possible combinations, and this is what won out, is these ribbons right here. So I'm going to set these aside. The things that I consider when I'm looking at making a bow is the width of the ribbon, how the different patterns will play off of each other. I'm also looking at wanting to make sure that I'm matching the right tones of creams and so forth together as well. So there's lots to think about and consider when I'm trying to narrow things down and come up with the right combination. And I'm hoping this will be a winning combination. We'll see when we get the bow completely made. So I'm going to use the Deluxe EZ Bowmaker today. And I've got my recipe card. I sketched out ahead of time how I'm going to design this particular bow, the steps I'm going to use. And we're going to get started using this lovely ribbon here. This came from an Etsy shop called 5th Street Shop. I'm going to start off with a 7-inch tail. There's measurements on here, so I'm going to come out to 7 inches, and this is uneven on the end, so I'm just going to go ahead and make that even. I'm using Fiskars titanium scissors. They are excellent for cutting through wire. I don't use my fabric scissors because I don't want to dull my blade. So I'm coming out to 7 inches, and I'm going to make a 6-inch loop. And let me pull my ribbon out. Twist at the base, come out to 6 inches here, bring your ribbon down. The EZ Bowmaker is awesome. I love this thing. If you aren't comfortable making bows, if you're not used to making bows, this is a really wonderful gadget to learn how to make bows with. I'm going to move my tail out of the way so I can see where my 6-inch measurement is. It's right about there. And come out to 7 inches. I'm just going to do one loop on either side, cut, and I'm done. Ordinarily, what I do each time I cut off ribbon, I deduct from the total that's on the spool and I mark it on the spool. I will come back later due to time constraints on the video. I will come back and do that for inventory purposes, but right now I'm just going to get to it and make the bow. So now we're going to do the 1.5-inch black. This is a new roll, and with new rolls, oftentimes for some reason, they like to bend it over when they have a new roll and you get this crease. You can iron it out if you want. Be careful. Some ribbons don't take a very hot iron, so be careful. But I'm just going to snip it off to save some time. And I am going to come down to 7 inches again. This time I'm going to make a 5.5-inch loop. So we twist it. Because this black is the same on either side, you can't really tell which one is the top side of the ribbon, which one is the back side of the ribbon. You don't have to twist, but I'm so used to twisting that I'm going to twist it anyway. So 5.5 inches is right there, and I'm going to twist. Coming down to 5.5 inches, move my tail out of the way so I can see. 5.5. I need to pull more ribbon out. 5.5 is right about there. And then twist. Whoops, nope, you don't have to twist because I'm coming out to a tail. Recently I was making a bunch of bows on this, and I did more loops on each side, which meant I had to keep twisting and keep twisting. All right, set that aside. Next comes the cow. I used to collect cows. I had a cow kitchen. I love cows. I just have an affinity for them. I don't know why. It is what it is. Okay, so now we're going to do our cow. Again, 7-inch tail, which is right about there. Let's pull some ribbon off. Twist. This is going to be a 5-inch loop. Let me double check on my recipe card. Yes, the cow is a 5-inch loop. So 5 inches brings me right about there. And I am going to twist. You're twisting because what you're wanting to do is you want to be able to position the ribbon so when you come back up, you've got the pretty side facing up on your loop. Come over to 5 inches, which is right there, and make your cut at 7 inches for your tail. All right, and next comes the red. I like Swiss dot on the ribbons. I think they make very pretty ribbons. Now the cow came from TMI Gifts. That's where I purchased that ribbon. The black came from Deco Exchange. Deco Exchange is out of Louisiana. Okay, the end of that one is folded. TMI Gifts, and they sell ribbons. They're out of Mississippi. This ribbon is from an Etsy shop called 5th Street Shop. Okay, 7-inch tail. This is going to be 4.5 inches. And I am going to move my tails out of the way so I can see where my measurement is. Pull out some ribbon, come to 4.5 inches, which will be right about there. And move my loop and my tail so I can see, twist. 4.5 inches, right about there, and cut at 7 inches for the tail. Now, if you want, you could make your tails gradually get shorter, just like your loops are gradually getting shorter. That's an option you can do. There's such a variety of different ways that you can make bows. Just make it your own. Okay, this particular ribbon came from Craft Outlet. Can't remember where they're located. I'm gonna make, whoops, I've got another bend. This is also a brand new roll. Okay, so we're coming out to 7 inches. Twist. I'm only gonna make one loop with this particular one. He's gonna be the center of my bow and he's gonna be 4 inches long. So 4 inches is there. And he's coming out to be 7 inches. And that'll do it. Okay, so I thought I had wire out already. So I'm going to pull out some wire, 18 inches long, 22-inch gauge. You can use pipe cleaner, you can use a zip tie. Any of those will work. All right, so now I'm going to carefully reach under and pull up, making sure I keep my thumb at the center. Move this out of the way. I'm going to bring my wire down. I'm going to give it a couple of really good twists. Came undone a little bit back there, so I gave it another couple more twists. Okay, now he's in the middle. I'm going to just check and make sure my loops are fairly even. Okay, see, there's discrepancy there. So I am going to pull a little bit. Pull a little bit more. This is a step not every bow maker does. You don't have to. I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist. It's just an extra added step that I do to try to make sure that my loops are as even as possible. I think it makes a prettier bow when everything is pretty even. let's flip this over and make sure these loops are fairly even. Wow, that's a big discrepancy there. So we're going to pull. Well, isn't that interesting? I'm having a hard time pulling him. All right, now let's see. Okay, now we're even Steven. Okay, we are going to now fluff. I'm going to pull my fluff box out. You can buy this on Amazon. You can buy it at Deco Exchange. There's a few other places online that sells it. Now that everything is even, I'm going to give it tighten this up a bit back here so that when I am pulling and adjusting my loops, they don't go anywhere and come undone. So I'm going to wrap the wire around so everything stays where it should be. Okay, now let's adjust everything. I'm going to start with the back loops and the back tails. And because there's wire on the edges of the ribbons, it makes it really easy to put things right where you want them. And because you've got it tightened, feel free to really move and adjust things where you want them to go. And we'll move this tail over here so he's in between this red and this red. And move him over. Okay, now we're gonna bring this out, bring him out. So if you notice, I'm wanting the tails to be opposite each other and the loops to be opposite of each other. Now we'll get the reds where we want them to go. Okay, let's give everything a little bit of a fluffing here. And this will be my center loop. And I'll have the tails going in opposite directions. You can stand your center loop if you want, or you can have them off to the side. That's up to you. Now, one thing you do want to do is whether you use a pipe cleaner, a zip tie, or a wire, you want to position what's in the center just so that just spread it out a little bit at the base so it covers whatever you use to secure the center. Okay, now I'm going to go back through, make sure all my loops are fluffed the way I want them fluffed. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my tails with this sitting here. I'm going to give them a dovetail. I'm going to come in about right there. Oh my goodness, I cut in the wrong direction. Okay, don't do that. That's not what you want to do. You want to cut in this direction. And that gives it the little V shape. Oh, I've never done that before. Oh my goodness. Okay, you want to cut like that. Yes. How did I do that? Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So you want to cut towards the ends. Wow, that's interesting. That's a first for the books. Okay, now you could cut at a diagonal. It's a preference thing. Some people will even leave their ends flat like this, just straight across. It's up to you. But whatever you do, don't do like that first cut I did. Oh my goodness, your tails will look a little wonky if you did that. Definitely not the look you want to go for. I love the look of the cow with this paisley handkerchief look on the red. I think the two complement each other well. We are almost done with our tails here in just a minute. So this pattern of just making a loop on each side, a tail on each side, is a very simple, easy bow to make, and you can add as many ribbons as you like using this pattern. We could have added 2 or 3 more ribbons. It would have been a fuller bow. That's totally up to you. Okay, one other thing we can do with this bow to give it a little more character if you want is we can take the tails and we can curl them a little bit under. It gives almost the illusion of added loops with the tails curved under a little bit more. So that's an option that you could do with this particular bow. Very easy to do with your fingers, is just bend it under some if you would like. So that's our cowbow. Undo the wire, straighten out the wire best you can, slide it off, and you have got yourself a cowbow. So that's our bow for the day. Stop back by sometime, we'll make another bow. Y'all have a good one. Bye.